Hi, I'm LDS in Medium, and thank you so much for tuning in today. I want to try to bring religion and spirituality closer together, and this is what this pod is all about. I will talk about my own thoughts and feelings as I am both LDS and have spiritual gifts, something that I've had my whole life, but I always thought that it was hard to combine these gifts with my religion. This has torn me into two directions, and I have talked to many people who feel the same way. I can't choose not to have my spiritual gifts, but I can choose how I use them. And I always want to use them for good and to help others. I believe my heavenly parents gave them to me for a reason. So, this is me. Join my quest for knowledge.
Tony Robbins, Day 4, Episode 4, Female versus Male.
It's very easy to understand yourself and how you work, and you relate really well to the same sex. You think a certain way, you act a certain way, you respond a certain way. Just think about how do you act with your female friends if you're female, or your male friends if you're male, and then when it comes to the opposite sex. There's this book called Women is from Venus and Men are from Mars. And sometimes it might feel like we're from different planets. And a lot of people say that they don't understand the opposite sex. They don't understand how they think, they don't understand how they feel. And I don't think that's a coincidence, actually. And I think it's something that we have inherited for generations and generations. And Tony Robbins talks about this. He talks about how it dates back to the time where we were actually hunters and gatherers. When it comes to the female, since we're both female, he said that problems are shared as a way to connect. They might not even want the problem fixed, they want to talk about it. While men are problem solvers, they want to fix it if there's a problem. And especially they want to solve it for the people that they love the most.
That is so true. So many times that I've been crying, because crying for me is an outlet of emotions. And I've been crying, and my ex-husband came in, he's like, "What's wrong? Can I fix it? What's wrong? Can I help you?" And all I wanted to do was cry. And if I told him about it, he wants to fix things. And I just want to say that I'm sad, but I just wanted someone there to listen to me, to say, "I have your back. I'm here for you." I don't want someone to fix it. I just want someone to listen to me and connect with me, understand me, and see me. And so it's so funny because in the end I stopped saying things because I didn't want it fixed. I just wanted someone there to be with me. So I chose to talk to my friends instead of my partner because he couldn't give me what I needed. And that was just being there and supporting me.
So I think what you're saying is also that you wanted a shoulder to cry on, and you wanted somebody maybe to hug you and just say, "It'll be okay."
Yeah, pretty much that.
So a long time ago, we were hunters. Usually the men went out hunting, and when they were hunting, they were grouped together. They had tools to hunt, but they had to be very, very quiet while hunting, because if they would make sounds, it would scare away the prey, and maybe they would come home without anything for their families to eat. Women, on the other hand, were usually left in the community, village. They had to talk, to communicate to each other. They need to talk about what they needed. They need to describe maybe where you need to go to do something or to find the berries, to find a path. They gave instructions on what needed to be done, so women usually loved to talk. And they were used to also organize a lot of things at the same time, so they could take care of the kids, they could do the food, and as they're looking at female and male brains, they've seen that there's a lot more activities in female brains that goes between the two halves of the brains. And in the male, it's usually activity in either one half of the side or the other. So when they say that men can't multitask, or when a man tells you that he's actually not thinking about anything, that could actually be true, even though for a woman it might be very hard to understand.
If you want to learn more about that, it's a really funny YouTube video, we can link it down below, that talks about male brain versus female brain, and I laugh so hard every time I see it because it strikes me as true every time I see it. When they talked and had this session with us, one thing they talked about was how important the 3 U's were for a woman. And for a woman, the 3 U's was the feeling of being unseen, the feeling of not being understood, or feeling unsafe. Those were the 3 U's. And looking back on my life, I realized that none of the 3 U's was fulfilled in my life. I didn't feel seen, I didn't feel understood, and I didn't feel safe. I thought I was safe, but I realize now that I had a hard time falling asleep next to my husband, and we were married for 20 years. This might be a personal thing to say, but after he had moved out and I started thinking about it, he usually fell asleep watching TV at night, and I usually fell asleep a lot earlier because I got up earlier in the morning. And every time we were forced to fall asleep next to each other, like if we were traveling and staying in hotels and stuff, I had a hard time falling asleep. I had a hard time being comfortable enough to relax and sleep. And it took me quite some pondering about it to realize that I didn't feel safe. I mean, don't get me wrong, he never hurt me or anything, but I talk about emotional safety. He didn't make me feel emotional safe. Physically, I felt safe, and I felt really safe that he was in the apartment, but emotionally, I didn't feel safe. And understood. I mean, he never asked me for my opinions, and when he asked me and I gave it, he never listened. So I never felt that he actually cared about my opinion and what I thought and what I wanted in life, which made me give up. And that was my fault. I should have fought harder, but I gave up. I don't think that it should be a fight. I think love should be effortless, and if you found the right person. So that's what I believe now. But 20 years ago, it was love that was important, not communication, feeling safe. And that was for the woman. A woman in a relationship has to feel seen, she has to feel understood, and she has to feel safe. And I totally believe that, because it's something that truly hit me when I heard it the first time, and I was like, wow, yeah, that's true. I didn't feel that. So, and for the men, it's the 3 C's. And it's about criticism, it's about closed out, and it's about feeling controlled. A man has to feel like he's a hero. He cannot feel criticism, because that hurts him really bad. And one of the worst thing a man can feel is when you close off, when you get mad at him and you shut him out. That is really, really hard on them to be closed off or stonewalled. And they need to have their freedom and not feel controlled. So those are the 3 C's that a man need, and the 3 U's for what a woman need. And how was that when you heard that the first time?
Yeah, it was also like a light went off. I was like, oh wow. I mean, it's so simple, and I'm sure that he has come to these 3 U's and 3 C's by listening to a lot of people and finally like putting things together. I was just grateful that somebody else saw this pattern and came up with it, because if you turn it around, this is actually what you need to do to keep your relationship. You need to make your woman feel seen, understood, and safe. And women, you need to not criticize, you need to be open to your spouse, and you need to also not be controlling him. But still, I mean, set limits, of course. Appreciate him, be open, and give him freedom. And here also, remember when we were talking about the relationship stressors earlier, this is also something that comes in with the female and male. But, if you're a woman, I think it's good to study a little bit about how the male work, how their brain works, and the same goes for men. Study a little bit. Just don't give up and say, I don't understand you, and I can't read your mind, but actually put some effort into it. Try to understand. Talk to other women and other men. It's like, how do you really think? How would you think about this kind of situation?
One of my favorite examples is once we were out walking, and we walked past this big store window, and I saw a beautiful dress. I mean, it was really beautiful. I was like, wow, what a beautiful dress. And in my mind, I was like, this is a beautiful dress. I want to go in, I want to try it on and maybe buy it because I really want this dress. And I was like, oh, what a beautiful dress. And my ex-husband said, yes, it's a nice dress. And he just kept walking. And I was like, whoa, wait, didn't you understand me? He's like, well, it's a nice dress. And then he just kept walking. And I just kept walking too. And I was like, in my mind, any girlfriend I had would understand what a beautiful dress means. They would understand that, yeah, let's go in and try it out and see if it fits and if they have your size and maybe if they have a different color. But he didn't, because what he heard was, what a beautiful dress. He looked at the dress and said, yes, it's beautiful. But I should have said, hey, honey, I want this dress. Let's go in and try it on. Then he would have understood me. And that's just one way that my brain worked. And it's so easy to communicate with my girlfriends because I don't have to think about what I'm actually saying. I just have to say what I think.
Yeah, so you don't kind of have to explain yourself. Okay, females and males, we are different. And for women, being seen is so powerful. And it grows by praise. And men, they need to feel like they're the hero rescuing you. If you want to build a strong relationship together, I would like to end like Avatar and just say, I see you. Because it's so powerful and they really nailed it in that movie. When they say, I see you, it's an amazing moment. And if you look your spouse in the eyes and you say, I see you, it's like the biggest compliment there is.
While we're on this topic, it's just not about male and female brains. Female and female brains can be different, and male brains can be different. If you like that, then you can check out all those pictures that was online and popular a couple of years ago. You know that gold and white dress? Was it actually gold and white? Or those sneakers that were white and pink? Or were they really white and pink? I saw them as gray and blue. There are tons of those kind of illusions out there on YouTube or internet, so just Google it and see how your brain works for you. So this was just some thoughts about female versus male or male versus female and how the brain works and not work. Until next time, I see you. Be the light, share the light, spread the light, shine. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow for a new episode.
This is my journey. Thank you so much for keeping me company today. Please download, like, share, and subscribe, and help spread the light and spread the word to expand our community. Let's bring more love, peace, and unity to this world. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Always be grateful, kind, and loving. Be brave and remember to step out of your comfort zone and smile. If you support us on Patreon, you will get access to our meditations and extra materials so you can download them as MP3. Also, we now have a Facebook group, which you can access from our Facebook community. Please answer the questions as you apply to participate. It will be a safe haven where we can keep discussing religion and spirituality, our spiritual gifts and self-development. Remember, one person can make a difference, but together we can change the world.